Hello again. We are walking through the Coppersmith Street, the authentic street from the Ottoman Empire. Something to see. Maybe we'll do a video just about this area here, maybe another time. But now we want to go and have a coffee, and to be honest with you, we want to show you how we are making and how we are drinking the Bosnian coffee here in Sarajevo, as it is a must try when you visit our city.
Yeah, of course. Most of the sets for the Bosnian coffee are done by the coppersmiths, and they make most authentic souvenirs from Sarajevo. Well, coffee tradition is a big part of our life. Being welcome in a Bosnian house, you'll be always welcome with a coffee, if there is no raki, of course. Usually, coffee will be first of all roasted, so whole house smells on the coffee, and then coffee is grinded. These are the traditional old coffee grinders, and usually in the old times they were showing status of the family. Most of the time today we buy already made roasted and grinded coffee, and that coffee goes straight to this kind of sets. So this is a very important part, which is called jezva. So just freshly grinded coffee goes to jezva. On the top of jezva comes boiled water. Back on the fire, when the coffee starts boiling, that's already cooked coffee. We'll show you more on today's video about that. This is another part which is called filjan. We like to drink coffee from this kind of cups, and we like to drink coffee while it's hot, so you can hold that cup, you know, with your fingers, and you can take sip by sip. Another thing is this third part, where we usually hold some sweets or some sugar cubes, which we'll talk more about that later on. So here you can just see how the coppersmiths are working on production of this product. So this is one stage in a process of making this gravures, which are actually decorations on the jezvas.
Whoa! What do we have here?
One more Bosnian coffee. Guys, the coffee we roast in-house. Ministry of Shape and Shape Coffee Roasters. The typical so-called Bosnian blend, roast out of Brazilian Arabica 80% and Indian Robusta 20%. How we usually serve it. Stir, take a little bit of cream, put it in a cup, stir again, 3 seconds, pour. If you drink with sugar, dip the cube, put it in your mouth, sip the coffee over the sugar. Of course, Turkish delight, also known as Rahat Lokum here in Bosnia, and rose flavored water. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So before you slip the Bosnian coffee inside the small cup filjan, I want to tell one story that is for Bosnian guys that were living here. So take the camera, please, and I will explain to them. So before the Ottoman Empire came here and brought Islam to our country, and we were Christians, but before that also we were pagans. So there are many traditions from our pagan religions from Illyrian times that we were living here. One of them was fortune telling. So still today there are old ladies, when they go somewhere for a coffee, they like to tell the fortune. So still that tradition is present. But during the Ottoman Empire, since they brought the religion of Islam, fortune telling was prohibited or forbidden. So when I was asking, when they are making these porcelain cups, why there is a crescent and the star in the small cup called filjan, they say it's because of the fortune telling because these old ladies used to tell the fortune with the coffee leftovers. After you drink from filjan, there are leftovers of the coffee, and by the formations inside they could tell your fortune. So as a last warning, what was prohibited in Islam religion, fortune telling, as a last reminder, was actually crescent and the star, still present in the porcelain cup filjan. Okay, so let's have a coffee and hope when you reach Sarajevo on your destination you will come here to Ministry of Trade, where is the best roasted coffee in the town to try.
So it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit about my neighborhood. I was born 200 meters away from here, and this neighborhood is called Kovači, or Blacksmith's Street in Sarajevo. 100 years ago, we had many streets with different crafts. So you'll find shoemakers, leather dealers, tinsmith workshops. Today it's very hard to find one authentic street in Sarajevo. Coppersmith Street is one preserved street, but in this street, where in Coppersmith Street, okay, I don't know if one preserved street. So in that street you can find that craft, but the other streets unfortunately do not exist anymore. But in this street you'll find some of the old crafts in Sarajevo. So there are coppersmiths here as well. But for example, behind me is one tinsmith workshop. Tinsmiths are coming with the Jews to Sarajevo, and they started making drain pipelines which did not exist before in Sarajevo. And of course, this store behind us is more than 100 years old. And in this store used to be another guy who was roasting a coffee. In the same time as I'm talking here, you can hear call for prayer. We say in Sarajevo that in Sarajevo the bells of the churches, they never disturb muezzin while he would call for prayer. So it's really a big mixture of Muslims, Orthodox, Jews and Catholics, and that's one more reason to visit my city. Unfortunately, that store is in this moment closed, but that store is run by the last lady coppersmith in Sarajevo. So besides so many men who are making this authentic jezwas and pots, there's one lady that does it as well. You should visit our city. Welcome to Sarajevo.